Hello everybody and welcome to the next video. What I'm hoping to show you with this video is how to use digital studies to analyze the values that will help you see these a little bit better when we're working on our paintings in the future. When you go to the WordPress site, you'll find digital studies right here. Click on there and it will take you to a page with 5 different images. And in those images I want you to find 12 different values, or 12 different colors. To get them off the page, you can either control click and save the image to your downloads or desktop, or you can simply grab them and drag them to your desktop off of the page. In the past we have used Sumo Paint, but there's been a little bit of a trouble with that application right now. So rather than use that, go to Photoshop, and for free you'll have a 7-day trial to work on this. If your trial expires, there's other places on campus where you can work with Photoshop. So you'd click Start Your Free Trial here to do this assignment. I already have Photoshop on this computer, so I'm just going to click on my Photoshop interface right here and show you how to do the assignment. When you open Photoshop, you'll have a chance to create new or to open. So go to Open, find the downloaded images, and you can see I've already done this 4 times. So I'm going to click on the digital studies, and they'll each have a different name, so it'll be easy to find. Click Open. I've got some guides on here that I want to get rid of. That's because of some things that I've done in the past. So here we are with our image. You can zoom in by going to View and zoom in and zoom out. And the shortcut on this is Control plus or Control minus if that helps you. I'm going to zoom in once. You can see the whole scene. You can see our toolbox over here on the side. And when we're finished, we'll fill in these 12 areas and draw lines to where we found these colors and send them to me, all 5 of them, in an email. So in brief, we'll only be using a couple tools. We'll use the eyedropper tool. If you hover over it, it will tell you what it is and explain it just a little bit. We're going to use the paint tool, which is under the gradient tool. So if you click on this triangle where it says gradient and you go to paint bucket tool, this paint bucket tool will open for you and be there for you to use. We'll also use a line segment tool, a line tool, or if you want to, you can use a pen tool or a brush tool, and you'll see how we use that in a minute. And then down below we have a color picker, and the color picker is a way to kind of see numerically how these colors work. So right down in here is the number of this color. So as we go lower, the numbers get smaller. See 4s, 3s, 2s, 1s, and if you get to black, it will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now the opposite, go all the way to the top, this interface runs out of numbers at 9, and then it goes into A's, B's, C's, D's, E's, and F's. So F is actually the highest numbers that we can have. And if we put FF, FF, FF in here, you'll see that it's the whitest, the lightest. That's that area right there. So F, E's, D's, C's, B's, A's, and then back into the 8s and the 9s as we creep down. So something as we move down, it could be FF, FF, FF. It could also be 99, 99, 99, and you can see that it's a little bit lower. And then we can go to 55, 55, 55, and we keep going down towards black. So that's how these numbers work. All right, so when we see this, I would argue that some students would say this is black, this is white, and we've got some other colors that are on there. So what I want you to do is use the eyedropper tool just to see what these colors really are. So if that looks like it's black to you, when we click on it, we'll see that it's not exactly black. It's a little bit lighter than black. Remember, black would have been 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. This happens to be 18, 18, 18. So a little bit lighter than black. So you wouldn't use black straight out of your tube to paint this area. Also, some students might think this is white at the top, but when we click it, click down here, we see that it is not quite white. We have quite a bit of space up here before we get to white. So this is a darker gray than white. All right, so let's show what these colors are down below and just do the assignment. And it doesn't take very long. It'll take you a second to figure out the tools. You'll get good at this in a matter of minutes. So this is one of the 3 areas on the wall. I'm going to drop it into this area, and then I'm going to draw a line to show where I got it. And I've got a and I'm going to paint a line to show where I got it. So here's the paint tool, and the size of it is really large. It's a 28 pixels. So I want to make this size a lot smaller. I'm going to make it about 9 pixels. And so from here to the object, that's where I'm going to draw that. We go to the next. So we go to our eyedropper tool. Here's the next value. I'm going to go to the paint bucket tool, drop that in there. Do you see how it's a little step darker? I'll go to my brush tool, and I'll show where I got that. Then the third value on this wall is the shadow right here. I'm going to use the paint bucket tool, spill it in there. Quite a bit darker, right? I'm going to use my brush tool, and that's where I got it. So I'm a quarter of the way done. I have 3 of the 12 finished. So next I'm going to go and do this floor. I see that I have a dark area, a middle area, and then a cast shadow here. The cast shadow can be your third value. Even though we've got a lighter area right in here, I'm going to be using these 3. So the first one I'm going to choose is where this cast shadow is. I'm going to eyedrop it in here and draw where it came from. I'm going to do the middle value here. I'm going to draw where it came from, and I'm going to do the value towards the bottom of the composition. And where that came from. Now, I'll tell you that these shadows here are not the same value, and this is a mistake a lot of students make. They make the whole cast shadow from this block the same, whether it's on the floor or the wall. But I want you to notice here, do you see how much different they are? So from your naked eye and not being an artist, you might think they're really close, but make sure that you're looking for how different everything actually is. We're halfway finished. I want to do the cube next. So here's the left-hand side. And if you remember, we decided that's not really black. It's coming from here. I'm going to do the top next. Show where that came from. And then I'm going to do this side right in here. Now, it turns out that we've got two values here. You can choose whichever you want to use. I think there's more space here, so I'm going to use that one. And now we have this wall over here. Now, here it's a little harder. It looks like there's mostly just two different values. But there is a lighter value that's up in here, just a little bit of that texture coming through. So that's my job as an artist, to be able to see that. So let's see if I can get that lightest value. And I'm going to drop that in. I'm going to drop it on this side so I have room to make my line going up. Then the next value will be this middle value here. And the final one will be this shadow that's inside there. And that's the assignment. So when you go to paint this, what you will do is you will be mixing up all of these different values down here below. And I want you to notice that there isn't a solid white or a solid black in any of these. And that some of the grays are very close together, but they aren't exactly the same. So that's a really important thing for you to see in this assignment and be able to apply later. Now, for me to know that you've done this, what you'll do is you will save it as your version of this assignment. So let's say your name is Greg. So it'll be Greg Digital Studies, and it'll go to your desktop. You'll hit save. It'll ask you about the image quality. Let's just keep everything at maximum quality. And then you will put that file in an attachment in an email to me along with the 4 others. All right, I hope this made sense. I'll go over this in class for you as well. And then if you do have questions, be sure and talk to me about it, because we want to do this assignment before we start painting. I think it's a good foundation to get started. All right, I'll see you in the next video.